there is no weak link out of these three teams. The keeper, Cooper, absolutely fantastic. Good depth, most clean sheets, top of the league, fewest defeats, and most goals. Three teams will be joining the Championship from League One next season. Let's have a look at the automatic promotion contenders. Even just looking at the League One table for about 10 seconds makes it patently obvious that we are in somewhat of a three-horse race for automatic promotion, with Ipswich, Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday currently holding an 11-point gap over fourth place Barnsley. Yes, they do have a couple of games in hand, Barnsley, but it looks very much like those two automatic promotion places will be taken by two of those three teams. And the truth is here that there is no weak link out of these three teams. We always look in the 3 points for a win system at 2 points per game as the standard for winning one of these divisions, and all of the sides are hitting it. In fact, Ipswich are currently projecting 98.57 points. Plymouth, 96.38 points, with Sheffield Wednesday bang on the 2 per game at 92. I always look at continuity and winning habit when it comes to Plymouth. They've definitely got that. They are in what I would define winning season number 2. Pretty unlucky, you'd have to say, not to get into the League One playoffs last season with an 80-point total, just tailed off at the last minute. Ryan Lowe, he took them up from League Two, left them in 4th place in League One last season, but Stephen Schumacher took over when Lowe went to Preston, and nothing's really changed. In fact, you could argue even some kind of an improvement. This season, astonishing start, 13 wins out of the first 7 games, even better at home. 9 out of 9. The keeper, Cooper, absolutely fantastic. Hardy, Whittaker, Azaz, Ennis, all seemingly banging in every chance that came their way for these first few months. Sheffield Wednesday then, maybe, along with Derby County, the biggest club historically in the division. Go on then, I'll throw that grenade in and let you lot argue that in the comments. Another team, I would argue, that are in winning season number 2. 85 points for the Wednesday last season, but lost to Sunderland in the playoffs. High quality squad, good depth, most clean sheets, so good defensively, and if Barry Bannon is not the best player in the league, he is most certainly the most influential. Ipswich can't quite boast as long a winning mentality as the other two sides. We can't say winning season number 2, but certainly since manager Kieran McKenna walked into the door, 44 games for him now, 24 wins, 86 points. It's just a very well put together side. Top of the league, fewest defeats and most goals all look great, don't they? But the underlying stats also very good. Ipswich top for XG, shots on target, and indeed possession. So who comes out on top almost really turns into who's going to miss out, doesn't it? Last season, MK Dons missed that top 2 with 89 points, and there's a chance, you've seen with these projections, one of these is going to be in 3rd place with that total or even higher and not get automatic promotion. Ipswich look really strong, and I think perhaps they lead the way in terms of McKenna in the dugouts, in terms of that pattern of play and tactical plan. They've also been pretty aggressive in the transfer market since being taken over, and we might well see some moves in January into Portman Road. The others will be looking at a few late goals conceded by Ipswich, and they have made a habit of dropping points from winning positions. Is that a weakness? Certainly a blueprint set by Lincoln, Cheltenham and Fleetwood, all sitting in against the patient McKenna style and taking points off Ipswich. Sheffield Wednesday, we mentioned the clean sheets and the fact that they've basically been in promotion form since way back in November last season. That momentum is really strong at Hillsborough. They look very durable. Their only defeats, in fact, have come against teams up in the top 6. And with League One seemingly split down the middle with haves and have-nots, we know that punishing those teams in the lower half can be absolutely vital. You can, if you like, make the what if they lose Barry Bannon argument. He did go out injured actually in the last match, and we are awaiting a scan. Jury for me still a little bit out on Darren Moore. He didn't get that West Brom side promoted with parachute payments and Gale, Barnes and Rodriguez, and he didn't get Sheffield Wednesday out of League One at the first go. The flip side of that position is that championship season with West Brom is probably the most competitive in the last decade, and don't even start me about how hard last season in League One was. Maybe Moore has been in the wrong place at the wrong time twice, but winners do end up winning, don't they? With Plymouth, look, it's a bit of a tired cliche that pretty much most fans in every division think that their keeper is the best keeper in the league. We won't get into that particular dick-swinging contest, but on the goals prevented stat, which takes in the quality and number of chances that Michael Cooper has faced, if we don't say best, he's clearly the most important to his team and a big factor in their success. At the other end, the Argyle finishing has been absurdly good too. They are outperforming their XG by some 16 goals and seemingly banging in countless worldies from outside the box in off the post most weeks. One sticking point could be the loan players they've got there, and we're in biggest strengths being biggest weaknesses territory here. There are 5 players in on loan. Pretty important as well. Cosgrove, normally a bench option, but Whitaker, Mumba, Lonvik and Azaz, all very decent players who've contributed well at Argyle this season. What we have seen in recent years is loan signings now can and quite often be redirected or even recalled mid-season. You would wonder, could that weaken Plymouth should any one of those players be removed from their first team? My take then, for what it's worth, very, very hard to separate these 3 teams in terms of who wins the race. And like I said before, I don't think any of the managers will frankly care who wins, as in comes first in this particular race. It's more a case of who's going to come third in this particular race. So look, as much as I admire Plymouth, huge fan of what they're doing, it does feel like of the 3, they are the closest to their capacity. Of course, they could stay at that capacity and do the job, but there's a few things that we consider: the keeper, the lone player output, the finishing and the home record as outstanding for this part of the season. And if those things were simply to drop to good from outstanding, which they are at the moment, that aggregating might be enough for Plymouth to just drop back into probably mid-80s, which may well not be enough again this season. Also, I would suggest that recruitment-wise, Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich might be able to turn the screw a little bit more in terms of salary than Plymouth, who again, fair play, punching their weight financially, might not be able to. So right now, gun to my head, with the acknowledgement that they're all really good sides, I would have Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday as my top 2. But look, if Plymouth miss out, they would be strong favourites in the playoffs. Let me know your League One 1, 2, 3 down in the comments. Who is going to be coming up automatically to the Championship? And most importantly, let me know your reasoning so we don't go down that god-awful football fanboying rabbit hole. Whichever team who makes it up from League One automatically will be facing a different grade of striker in the Championship next season. So if you want to get genned up, click here to see my take on who'll likely be the Championship top scorer this season.